Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a review on the Chanel Perfection Lumiere foundation. I was thinking about whether I should even film it because I feel like this is a very popular foundation, although the Vita Lumiere Aqua is always the most raved up foundation from Chanel. However, I got this maybe like a month ago. I think it might be even exactly like a month ago, and I have been wearing it every single day over any single foundation, and it is just incredible. It's unlike anything I have ever tried, and trust me, I tried a lot of foundations. I was dealing with acne. I really feel like I know my foundation game, and especially with the colors, with the oxidation and stuff, this is just incredible. So I'm actually gonna look up the foundation because I want to see all of the correct information. Perfection Lumiere. Okay, so from what I can see right now, there's also the Perfection Lumiere Velvet, which is the more matte version. However, I personally wouldn't wear it just because my skin is kind of normal to dehydrated. So I feel like anything like matte or velvety would just kind of drag that out. Although I might be wrong, it might be a great foundation, but for me, I feel like I prefer something with a more natural, dewy finish. Alright, so for the colors, there's altogether 13 colors in the range, and I'm reading this off of the official website from Chanel. So not a really huge or wide range, but I do feel like they have a really good selection from very pale porcelain skin tones. I think anybody with a really super light skin tone could totally find a match in this foundation because they offer a really good range between a yellow tone, which is what I am, and then also a very pink tone, which is something that I feel like is like somebody who's super pale would appreciate. However, the darker selection doesn't seem to be that great. The darker shades seem very yellow. I think it's 80 beige. I don't have my glasses on so I can see, but I believe it's 80 beige, and it is a very kind of goldeny chestnut color, which I feel for somebody with a really super dark skin tone with a more olivey undertone, I don't think it's gonna work. So I'm not really too pleased with the selection of the colors. However, if you're something like my skin tone, which is basically like NC20, NC25, I feel like you can really find a great color here. The price on this one is, I believe, around, actually I'm not sure, let's check. The price on this one is actually, around £35, depends on where you get it. Which is how much I actually paid for. Actually, I paid a bit less because I was in duty free and they were doing like something, I don't know. They say it's a long wear fluid foundation, SPF 10, long wear makeup for 15 hours straight. I do feel like this lasts a really long time. But honestly, my favorite thing about it is actually the application, which is just a dream. What I use today is actually a Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, which has been my holy grail. I mentioned it in was it in my haul or in my favorites? I don't know, but for sure this is amazing. Every single time before I use it, I will just wash it with a face soap, just because I was probably using it the day before and I want to clean it. And then when it's wet, you just kind of soak up the excess water inside of it, and I kind of just put it in a towel and kind of squeeze out the excess water. And this will give you the most natural finish ever, and it won't soak up the product that you put onto the sponge, which is quite often what happens with sponges. I will usually just use like 1.5 pump. That's enough for my whole face for kind of a light to medium coverage. I don't like too much coverage for the daytime, especially since my skin has been so much better. I'm gonna link my acne update on my current therapy that I'm on for acne right here, in case you're dealing with acne and you want to see how I cleared up my skin. So basically right now I don't need the full-on coverage, especially like day-to-day stuff. I'm usually just meeting with my research group or going to university, so I really don't want to do too much stuff on my face. So I just feel like the finish is super natural. I don't have any primer, I don't have any highlighter, I don't use it with this foundation. I just don't think it needs it. I did, however, apply a little bit of concealer. I use my Rimmel Match Perfection concealer, which is amazing, and I used the same sponge just to dab it in. I didn't use concealer or any other areas except underneath my eyes to add a little bit of brightness. With this foundation, I really don't think it needs it. I feel like this even conceals like the redness around my nose and makes everything super even. The color I have here, which is probably like, how did I forget that, is 20 Beige. So that is for sure, I don't think it's the lightest color, or it could be. No, it's not. So you can go even lighter. You can go up to a 10. So they do make lighter shades. So if you're even lighter than me, they have like they have just one shade lighter than this, which seems to be quite a bit lighter actually. And this is probably the palest I'm gonna be anyway, so it just works really well. Then after that, I did set the concealer underneath my eyes, because if I don't, my concealer will kind of melt my mascara and I will have like black smudges underneath my eyes. So for that, I use my MAC NC20 Studio Fix Foundation powder. I just applied it like right in this triangle here, and also a little bit on my chin and in between my brows, which is usually where I get a little bit oily. And honestly, that is fine with powder and touch-up throughout the day. I don't need to do anything to my face. It just stays the same how I apply it in the morning. Just goes through the day until the evening when I take it off. And I'm a morning riser. Like currently it is 7:30. I woke up around like 5:30. So I think that tells you a lot like about my day. So I come back from class usually around like 6, 7, and I don't take my makeup off until maybe like 10 or 11 p.m. So that's a really good, you know, amount of time I'm wearing my makeup, and I don't need to do any touch-up at all. I also applied my bronzer today. I used the MAC bronzing powder in the shade Matte Bronze, which is a really nice golden color. I like it. I just used it with my, is it the Coastal Scents, I think? This is the Coastal Scents Angled Large Blush Brush. So I applied that on the sides of my face. I did a really super weird face. I always do that when I apply bronzer. And then also for blush, a new discovery I've been absolutely loving, and I just put my finger in it. It's alright. This is the Body Shop powder blush in the shade number 6, Guava. And this is a kind of a darker, natural looking pink. It doesn't have any shimmer in it. I don't think it does. But I feel like the formula is super weird, because when I swatch it, it looks super powdery, and I wouldn't like the formula. However, you can see the color a bit better here. However, because it's so powdery, it just blends out so beautifully. So it's so weird to say, you know, something so crumbly and powdery and horrible looking in the pan can be so beautiful on the cheeks. And I absolutely love this color. I think it looks super natural. For that, I used the Real Techniques, this is the contour brush, yeah. And just because this is a really dense brush, I can kind of just dab it onto my cheeks. Again, I'm doing a super weird face, you will see. I'm just so bad. I feel like that pose really makes the apples of the cheeks pop out, so it's a lot easier to apply the blush. It's just so weird. Yeah, and then I skipped the highlighter I mentioned before with this foundation. I feel like it just glows from within and looks super natural, and there's no need for like glitter or shine on the face. So I'm over the moon happy with this foundation. Honestly, I cannot recommend it enough. I feel even if you're like more mature, you have super dry skin, I feel if you want to have a really kind of perfecting makeup base that is super light, doesn't feel like anything on the skin, won't break you out, and looks super even and flawless and glowing and natural. It's not glowing, it's just natural, you know, then I think this foundation is just, it's brilliant. So yeah, is there anything else I needed to mention about it? I don't think so. I want to apologize about my setup. You know, it's a dorm. There's not really a whole lot of lighting included because it's 7 a.m. and the sun is not really out that much yet. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really supports my channel a whole lot. And tell me in the comments below what is your favorite foundation, because I honestly right now, I don't think there's anything that can beat this. I feel like this is like my holy grail foundation, which is big because you guys know I've been using my L'Oreal True Match for years and years and nothing came close to it. But I think this is better. I really do. It is pricey, but worth it totally. You don't need a lot of products, so I really do think it's worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope you did. I guess I'm gonna leave you now and go to classes because that's what students do on a Thursday morning. and I will talk to you guys soon in my next video. I love you. Bye!